Hello, everybody. First, I would like to thank the conference organizers and scientific committee for giving me the opportunity to present at this prestigious conference. My name is Roshanee Seth, and today I will be presenting a scoping review entitled The Impact of Coaching on Professional Identity Development in Postgraduate Medical Trainees. This work was undertaken with my co-authors, Jerry Mortimer, Jill Gould, and Vittoria Soros. Professional identity formation, or PIF, is increasingly recognized as a critical outcome of medical education. While coaching has become established in undergraduate medical education, much less is known about its role during postgraduate training. This review explores how coaching influences the development of professional identity among postgraduate medical trainees, and whether it can support development of resilience, reflective, and confident physicians. Professional identity formation is a lifelong process. It begins in medical school, where students acquire foundational knowledge and early clinical experiences. During postgraduate training, however, identity formation becomes particularly important because trainees encounter significant transitions, increased responsibility, and greater clinical uncertainty. Eventually, this identity continues to evolve throughout specialist practice and professional life. One of the key challenges is that competence alone does not automatically produce confident physicians. Many trainees experience self-doubt, imposter syndrome, stress, and uncertainty about who they are becoming professionally. Competency-based medical education has been highly successful in assessing performance, but it may not fully address the internal processes involved in becoming a physician. This gap led us to consider whether coaching could provide structured support for reflection, growth, and identity formation during these crucial years of training. The aim of this review was to explore the impact of coaching on professional identity formation in postgraduate medical trainees using the Joanna Briggs Institute Population Concept Context Framework. Our population was postgraduate medical trainees, the concept was coaching interventions, and the context was professional identity formation. The research question guiding this review was, how does coaching influence, enhance, and shape professional identity formation in postgraduate medical trainees? In addition to mapping the existing evidence, we also wanted to identify gaps in the literature and inform future educational practice and research. We conducted a scoping review following the Arksey and O'Malley framework and reported findings according to PRISMA SCR guidelines. A comprehensive search was performed across PubMed, Embase, Web of Science, and Google Scholar. We also included grey literature and imposed no publication date restrictions to maximize coverage. Overall, more than 330 records were identified. After screening and eligibility assessment, 20 studies were included in the final review. These studies represented a range of methodologies, including qualitative studies, mixed method, research, reviews, and two randomized controlled trials. We then performed thematic analysis to identify recurring patterns and concepts across the literature. Three major themes emerged. First, coaching modalities. Second, coaching effectiveness. And third, coaching's impact on professional identity formation. The first theme explored how coaching was delivered. Three main coaching modalities emerged. The first was individualized coaching. This involved one-to-one coaching relationships focused on personalized goal setting, career development, confidence building, and reflective practice. The second modality was group coaching. Group coaching enabled trainees to learn from one another, develop peer support networks, and better understand organizational and professional challenges. The third was peer coaching. Peer coaching encouraged trust, reflection, and shared learning while helping trainees build communities of practice. Importantly, no single modality appeared universally superior. Rather, each served different developmental needs and stages of professional growth. What united them was the opportunity for structured reflection and developmental dialogue. The next question was, what makes coaching effective? Across the studies, several common factors emerged. First, the quality and preparation of the coach mattered significantly. Second, structured coaching frameworks enhance consistency and effectiveness. Examples included the R2C2 model, the GROW framework, and appreciative inquiry. Third, psychological safety emerged as perhaps the most important ingredient. Trainees needed a safe space where they could openly discuss uncertainty, failure, career concerns, and identity challenges. Finally, longitudinal relationships appeared especially valuable because trust deepened over time. One particularly important finding was that coaching worked best when separated from assessment. When coaches were also evaluators, trainees were less likely to be vulnerable and honest. Separating coaching from assessment strengthened trust and enhanced the developmental value of coaching. The third theme examined how coaching influences professional identity formation itself. The three major domains emerged. First, individual development. Coaching improved confidence, self-awareness, empowerment, and self-efficacy. Many trainees reported feeling better able to navigate uncertainty and increasing responsibility. Second, professional development. Coaching promoted reflective practice, goal setting, leadership development, and career planning. It helped trainees to think beyond immediate competency requirements and consider who they wanted to become professionally. Third, well-being and resilience. This was one of the strongest findings. Coaching helped trainees manage stress, reduce burnout, challenge imposter syndrome, and develop healthier coping strategies. Taken together, these findings suggest that coaching supports both the professional and the person. Rather than focusing solely on technical competence, coaching addresses the broader developmental process of becoming a physician. One of the key outputs of this review was the development of a conceptual framework. This framework proposes that coaching modalities, whether individual, group, or peer-based, activate several important mechanisms. These include psychological safety, structured reflection, feedback, and goal setting. These mechanisms facilitate what we call as identity integration. Identity integration is the process through which trainees begin to merge their personal values, beliefs, and experiences with the expectations of the medical profession. This integration then leads to important outcomes, including greater resilience, enhanced leadership, improved well-being, professional growth, and clear career direction. The framework positions coaching not as an optional support mechanism, but as an active driver of professional identity formation. In other words, coaching may be one of the key educational processes that helps trainees move from simply doing the work of a physician to becoming a physician. The findings have several practical implications for postgraduate medical education. First, coaching should be embedded throughout postgraduate training rather than being reserved for remediation or isolated interventions. Second, coaching should remain separate from assessment whenever possible to preserve psychological safety. Third, faculty development is essential. Institutions need to invest in training coaches and developing coaching capability. Fourth, programs should encourage communities of practice through peer and group coaching models. And finally, trainee well-being should be viewed as an educational priority rather than an additional outcome. Overall, coaching should be considered a core educational strategy that contributes to both professional development and workforce sustainability. To conclude, this review found consistent evidence that coaching positively influences professional identity formation among postgraduate medical trainees. Coaching supports confidence, resilience, reflection, leadership development, well-being, and professional growth. The evidence suggests that longitudinal coaching programs should be integrated into postgraduate curricula to support identity development across key career transitions. However, important research gap remains. Future work should focus on longitudinal outcomes, evaluation of coaching frameworks, consultant readiness, and the role of coaching in developing communities of practice. Importantly, although this review focused on postgraduate medical trainees, the principles identified are likely transferable across other healthcare professions. Similar benefits may be realized in nursing, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, pharmacy, physician associate training, and other allied health professions where professional identity formation, resilience, leadership development, and workforce retention are equally important. This creates an exciting opportunity for interdisciplinary education research and for embedding coaching more broadly across healthcare professional training pathways. I would like to finish with a statement that captures the central message of this review. Coaching helps trainees not only learn what physicians do, but become who physicians are. Thank you very much for your attention, and I would be happy to take any questions.